Okay, so Oakland.
All right.
Oakland Cemetery. Um, because it's known to be, not only haunted but extremely beautiful.
It is gorgeous, but
It is
let me read
very,
this.
very beautiful. I
All
had
right.
the belly here in this one, by the way.
You had the what?
I said I had the belly here in this one.
Okay.
Yep, we're the wrong way. Now they tell you there's speed bumps. What the fuck?
Where are you guys going anyway?
We're trying to get to the cemetery, but Rachel keeps unplugging the fucking map, so I keep getting lost.
It was already done.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. Okay.
Once I'm in the gates, then it's done.
It was already saying you were
I'm
there.
gonna put her ass out and make her ass walk.
See?
Oh my god, you.
I didn't do anything.
I'm gonna need a recording of this because I put yesterday that thing. It said honestly it's probably for the best because the chaos would be too powerful in person. So I can be like, check this. This is what I mean.
Aye.
A few moments later.
And I passed the road to get into it. I just didn't realize it was the road until I was actively passing it. Ay. Uneven lanes and Spanish bombs. Thursday, November 6th. Okay.
What the fuck is that? It must be a drink.
Thinking Man's Tavern.
It must be a drink, an uneven lane.
Are we able to drive in there?
Go back down that street. Go down at this.
Is it this
Yes, right here.
one? Okay.
Right there's the entrance.
Okay. See? A car just came out. It made me feel a whole lot better about it.
Yeah.
Wide turn for this tiny car.
Oh, shit.
Oh my gosh.
What?
This is the coolest cemetery I've ever been in. Alright, so we finally made it to Oakland Cemetery in Atlanta. This is the first cemetery of its kind that I've been to. And we just parked down here and we're not too far from the visitor center. And we're gonna walk around. I decided to pick some shade with a couple of sunny spots to say hi to y'all. Sis. No, we don't go that way, so we get away from the traffic sign. I don't know why she goes towards people. Funeral.
All right. In the heart of downtown Atlanta is Oakland Cemetery. Opening in 1850, the cemetery began as a 6-acre plot of land. By 1872, the size of the grounds had grown to 48 acres. Over 70,000 people have found their final resting place at Oakland, with famous residents like country music legend Kenny Rogers and Margaret Mitchell, who authored Gone with the Wind. The cemetery is Atlanta's oldest public park, with daily tours, school field trips, and community events all taking place on the grounds, makes it a part of Atlanta's history and culture. There have been several reports of paranormal activity in Oakland Cemetery. Most of them stem from the Confederate soldiers' area of the burial grounds.
Ma'am? Kim? Again. I swear to God, I just heard your fucked. Well, not today. Sarah Smith.
Yes.
1848 to 1871. Smith White. At rest.
So what was your, when you guys first got there, what energy did you pick up? Like, how did it feel?
To me,
I actually,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we're about to say the same thing. It was a little bit surprising for me because you see cemeteries like this, and the best way I can describe it is like the ones like you see down in New Orleans, and they've got like little gardens, and they're just built up on top of each other. That's really kind of what I was anticipating. But when we went through it, it was really beautiful and really welcoming.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna say it was a lot lighter than anywhere we had been
yeah,
previous.
it
Yeah, it
was.
was kind of that was another thing that was crazy for me because when I pulled it up and I was looking at it, I was like, oh my gosh,
Kenny
people rent
Rogers,
this
there he
place
is,
and
right
have a
there.
wedding. I want to get married there.
I just have a feel for that shit. Where? Right there. So, when we came in and we were looking through, we were looking up who all was here, if there was anybody that we might recognize name-wise.
I keep getting told back.
I'm not going back. But we were looking at, the lady who wrote Gone with the Wind. And then we found out that Kenny Rogers is buried here. And it's who I was looking for. I didn't look him up. We couldn't get the maps to work.
Oh, wow.
I just got a feel for these things. I told you. Really wanted me to come this way. I tried to go away from this direction.
So here's the
What?
thing, I kind of saw this as a bad side after the fact, and Debbie Downer
Yeah.
here, but I feel like on some level it's so congested in there with all of the people that are deceased and all of the events that are taking place and all of the visitors that are in there. It's becoming less
Disrespectful.
restful. Yeah, like, and they're still taking people in there. Like, who are they going to move?
Right.
Like,
Well,
who
it's
they
just
had
like
to move to bury Kenny Rogers?
right. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Where his location is really kind of shocked me because he's right on the edge of the original six.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's like right there, and most of what's around him is much older, graves and whatnot.
Mhm.
But I was gonna say, a side note on how much lighter it felt when we pulled in. There was, we think it was a wedding, and then there was a field trip of like 6-year-olds.
And looks a little rickety. And there's spider webs. You can have a seat. I'm not.
She's a chicken. Spider webs, but I don't see no spider. And it's metal, it's not rickety.
It's metal. As soon as you said that, it said it's metal. Who's here with us? I am.
What's your name? Look how close those are. Oh, wow. Want to get over there? Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I was
I
like,
mean, I do kind of think that, like I said, based off of like what I saw and the research that I did, I do think it's a good educational thing. That
right.
there are
Yeah.
educational, like,
I would agree
I would
with
love
that.
to take the kids. I would love to take the kids there and go, okay, learn some history.
And I don't even mind there being an event center there because, Woodland, if they had the space or they bought some of UD property and stuff like that, they could have an event center and it would absolutely be beautiful and it would sell out. I guarantee it. But my issue with it is the same as the Kenny Rogers thing. Like, who did they have to move and where did they put them? Because it is so crowded. I can't get over
especially
that.
especially the original 6 acres. Like
Yeah.
it is, they're like, that was the first thing I noticed. It was like they're like on top of each other. It really just,
Crazy. Me and
yeah.
James were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, I would really like to go there. I showed him the fact that people do have weddings there, and he was like, we're not doing that. Because I made the joke. I was like, I want to get married there. Like, I want to have these all, all of these people, I'm gonna have them at my wedding. And he's like, no. He's like, that's a bit much. There's like a line that needs to be drawn, and that is definitely the line. And I was like, oh, okay.
You're fucked. I heard it again. Why do you keep saying that?
Burial ground of Congregation Ahavath Ahim, encompassing the area behind this marker, bound by the lane to the east, the sidewalk to the west, and the wall to the south, was established in 1882 as the burial ground for Congregation Ahavath Ahim, chartered in 1887 as the city's first synagogue, composed primarily of Jews of Eastern European descent. This small section of graves to the right, bounded by the sidewalk and the corner ground markers, is the burial ground of the Kaddish Lodge, a mutual aid society established in 1896 by Russian Jews, which provided its members sick benefits and free burial plots. Dude, they got to be buried here for free? Meanwhile, we're paying tens of thousands of dollars to be put in dirt. Burial should absolutely be free. Especially if, in 100 years they're going to go back through and dig all that shit up anyway.
It's interesting how these things are really laid out, because when we went in, and maybe we were a little bit hangry, I'm sure that was probably part of it. We, we're starting to pick at each other, and, by the time you get in there and you realize the place is so huge and you've done parked and you're, 4 cemetery blocks away from your car and you're hiking through trying to find places. It was my nose that was really kind of leading us at that cemetery. I went right to Kenny Rogers by accident, and then, we had to look up the other lady, the general direction of where she was. And who was that?
Margaret Mitchell.
Yeah, she was the writer of the Gone with the Wind, right?
You're fucked.
What is the deal with that today?
You're fucked. Who's fucked?
Yes.
Mhm.
So, but we had gone over in that general area, and Rachel, like I said, I'm just gonna say she was hangry. She went off marching at some point. We got separated, and I am not proud, but I did do the, Rachel in the cemetery.
Which is seriously triggering for me, by the way.
I wasn't trying to wake the dead. I really wasn't. I was just trying to find the hoochie that walked away from me, because she was walking a completely different direction than I wanted to go.
Rachel,
And
you were literally about to become a spooky hoochie.
she was. She was. And so I thought if I yelled out SpongeBob, she wouldn't really retaliate with SquarePants, Marco Polo style. So I just had to yell for her. Eventually I found her, and I led her back the other way, because I did. I walked right on it, and it was really pretty. And let me tell you, I liked her plot way better than Kenny Rogers.
Oh, Kenny Rogers is just as flashy as he was.
I lost the Rachel. I don't see her. Rachel!
Yeah, we can turn down that way. She's in that corner.
That corner down there?
No, right here. Cause look. We just left where the visitor center was. We made this left. She's right here.
Okay.
So.
I think she's got us going the right direction now.
Oh my God!
See that?
Well, come up here in the shade. Let's figure it out.
I'm confused at this point. So we came out by the visitor center.
Okay, so you're saying
We came out of here. I thought we made the first left.
we didn't get to visitor center.
This way, because there's your car right there. We came around this.
I think this is original. What is this?
It was flat. So that would put us all the way here. I'm so confused. Okay.
So we need to go up front. We need to go back past that car. So we are still looking for Margaret Mitchell. I'm gonna look this way. She found it.
A few moments later.
Lost my friend again. Rachel! Rachel! Well, that's great. She's in more trouble than I am. I got the keys. And she's got a dead phone. Where the fuck did she go? Rachel! Right here? I just have a knack for finding this shit, dude. Can't find your dead loved one? Let me know. Couldn't find it because the other side says marsh.
Anyways. Mom. We found Margaret Mitchell, the author of Gone with the Wind. We found her headstone. So I thought you'd want to see that.
So here's kind of a weird random question. With how gorgeous the grounds were, did it make it more comforting, or do you think it kind of made it a little more eerie based off of the fact that, a cemetery shouldn't be that beautiful, like it shouldn't be that celebratory, weddings and parties and
I think
Go ahead.
you go first.
I think getting past that and what really was shocking to me was that it was an actual like park, and with walking trails and all that.
oh wow.
Getting past that, I would say it's more comforting. It's a more tranquil feeling. The overcrowding kind of takes away from that.
Yeah.
But as far as like the way it looked and things like that, to me it was more, more tranquil than just walking into, an older cemetery full of headstones and that's all you see kind of thing.
So I have this crazy thing that I think about when I go to cemeteries because we've already established I'm the weird cemetery girl, and there's this
My
weird
God,
thing
I
that
love
happened
cemetery.
I want you to start noticing when you guys go. Okay, you can be in the middle of Gotham City, Metropolis with Superman, New York, and the tiniest cemetery, and once you go in, it is just fucking quiet.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how it is at Woodland. That's how it was there.
Oh, wow. At this magnolia tree.
There's something very gothic and beautiful about, these places like what I mentioned in New Orleans, and I think there's one in Savannah. I don't know. Some people might think it's creepy. I think it's rather inviting. I mean, they're gardens. I do think it's rather chaotic. I think they have too much going on in the center of the cemetery. I would love to get in there at night and just stay all night and talk to anyone who's there who would want to talk, because there's going to be somebody. But you can't hear that shit when you got weddings and field trips and buddies who want to sit and talk in the cemetery for 4 hours.
Oh, don't forget about first dates.
Oh yeah, first dates. First dates was, oh, shout out. I want to know, I'm going to make a clip of this. We saw a first date happen at Oakland Cemetery. What date was that? October 14th? And I'll have to look at the video and see where they had I'm not going to show their picture or nothing, but I have to look at the headstone and see where they had it, because I got to know how that first date went. I'm a nosy bitch. I want to
Oh my
know.
gosh, I so need to know too, because that was like one of my Facebook posts. I don't know if you guys have seen it, asking, what would be your favorite, or what would be your dream spooky or haunted first date?
They would have vibed right with us. I guarantee it.
Man, you should have got their names, their
Well,
numbers, and all that.
maybe not at that moment. I think we were probably very menopausal, and I was feeling a little bit like Joe Pesci. She was, a little more like Godzilla. It's fine. We were good. We ate afterwards. I think they had an awesome date.
They were
Because
definitely
how could you
comfortable.
not? How could you not?
Well, you know they're your person anyways if they agree to that,
Yeah.
Right. So, were there any standout monuments that you just thought, oh my gosh, that's
goodness.
incredibly?
So many of them.
Mary Glover Thurman. They portrayed her as an angel. Makes me want to know who she is. Robert Louis Barnett. Oh, day after his birthday. It says he taught his family unconditional love. Always loved, cherished, and remembered. That's so sad.
16
Yep.
in one day.
I feel like it does something for them to acknowledge them as you walk by and just say hi. I mean, not to everyone, obviously, but a couple that speak to you, All right, well, that about does it for us in Georgia. We're wrapping it up here at Oakland Cemetery. We're just gonna find the car and then find some food. Worst case scenario, we just find the car on the wraparound road around the main and be outside. We do love us a good shortcut though. Yes, we do. So anyway, as I was saying, that about wraps it up for our Georgia trip. We leave early in the morning to come on home. And so shout out to Sherry for giving us maps, even though she couldn't be here. She actually, and even though Rachel couldn't read it, and she actually took time out of her busy work day to talk to us today and help us out. So shout out to Sherry for being an incredible team player. Mwah, miss you. We'll see you on the next one, and we'll see you guys later. Peace out.
If you'd like to add to our conversation, or you have a case you'd like us to cover, leave us a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this video and subscribe.